Why are you trying to take this cast off of me? It's there for my good. It's supposed to protect my arm and heal it. Why are you trying to take it off? And I did not realize or understand that until I became a parent. Man, what's good, y'all? What's popping? Man, we got to catch up on a lot of things. We have a lot of things we need to catch up on. How I've changed some things, how I've worked on some things. And so now really it's just being in the presence of organizing and setting everything up. And so the Rugged Haitian podcast will continue to be the Rugged Haitian podcast, but we will switch gears. We're still going to talk about everyday life stuff. We're still going to talk about that, but we will also more talk about the spiritual and emotional side of things, if that makes any sense. And the reason being so is because I want this podcast, I want my brand and everything Rugged Wanique to address the spiritual and mental and emotional health of the things that we go through every single day. That is the goal. That is the point of this. And so part of that includes doing video like you're seeing now, but also audio. And so you'll have this piece both in audio format, but also video format, just so that you could see how good I look. You feel me? But we are going to talk. I do want you all to see me and to see all these books behind me. No, I'm playing, but it's really just diving in so that we can get to know each other more and grow more spiritually and emotionally. As you all know, your boy is a pastor and I teach on spiritual and emotional health. I help people transform their lives by answering 3 questions. Who are you? How are you? And where are you going? And so by doing that, people's lives are changed, their business, their environment, their marriages and relationships, they are changed. And if you're watching this on YouTube, man, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, because we're going to be posting sermons. We're going to be posting messages, some funny videos. You're going to see how I interact with the children that are in my home as a foster parent, and the joys and the sadness that comes with that comes with being a foster parent and engaging the different children that come into my home. And so real quick, I'm about to pull this light towards me so I could be a little more chocolate. Yeah. Your boy looking good, ain't it? You see, if you listening in the audio right now, you probably like, what he talking about? But if you watching the video, I'm looking at the camera right now. If you watching the video, you like, hey, he look alright. He look alright. You feel me? So, that's where we are right now. And I want to share with you real quick, what has been happening in my life, and, something that God, opened up my eyes to and revealed to me. So as I grew up and I would watch my dad and see how he functioned as a parent, I didn't always wonder why. I just figured that's how he was. And now as a parent who have foster children, I see more of my dad in my parenting, if that makes any sense. So check this out. When I was younger, I was playing football and I broke my arm. I broke my arm and it had to be in a cast for like six weeks. And I remember when my dad first seen the cast, he was like, "What is this? And how long is going to be on your arm?" I said, 6 weeks. He said, "All right." And I didn't know it at the time, but at the time, my dad was counting the weeks. And the reason I say that is because as time would happen, as the 6 weeks would go by, he would ask, when are you going to take this off? When are you going to get this off? And I'm like, man, I don't have a ride to the place, da-da-da-da, whoop-de-whoop. And I think it was like the 7th or 8th week. Like this joint was on for a long time. The 7th or 8th week, my dad like got a kitchen knife and he grabbed my arm and he started to like cut into my cast. And it obviously didn't work. But I was like, why are you trying to take this off? Why are you trying to take this cast off of me? It's there for my good. It's supposed to protect my arm and heal it. Why are you trying to take it off? And I did not realize or understand that until I became a parent. Until I was married and I was engaged with my wife, and she got hit by a drunk driver and bleeding, and it was bad. She was in the ICU and she was in the hospital for weeks. And I remember seeing her face was swollen and her eyes was like swollen shut. And I remember looking at her and I'm like, all right, babe, you got to open up your eyes, because it's been like 2 weeks now. You got to open up your eyes. Here, let me wipe the crust off. Let me rub your face. I need you to open your eyes. And it wasn't clear to me at that moment. But when I see my daughter and I interact with her, I see what my dad was doing and I understand now. My dad could not fathom and handle his son being hurt. And so for him, it was, if the cast is gone, my son is not hurt. For me, with my wife in the emergency room, my mindset was, if her eyes can open, then she's not really as hurt as she is. You feel me? And I'm looking at my daughter and I'm like, man, if she could just speak more clearly, because right now she's still in the baby talk phase, even though now she's like 2, she's saying some words and whatnot. But I find myself trying to rush the process of the healing because I'm uncomfortable and I don't like to see my daughter in that condition, just the same way as I didn't like to see my wife in the condition she was in the same way that my dad did not like to see the cast on my arm the way that it was. And I see that I'm becoming more and more like my father, and that rocked me, cause my dad is dead. My dad has passed on into eternity. And it's moments like that I think back and I'm like, wow, Dad, thanks. You really cared. And I see more of my dad in my parenting than I ever thought I would. My dad would do these compare. He would compare me and my brothers against each other. He would say, "Well, your brother did this. Can you do that?" And so me and my brothers would be like competitive in that way. And I find I'm doing that with my kids. The older one doesn't want to eat her vegetables. So guess what I do? I look at the younger one. I'm like, wow, you're eating all your vegetables. Wow, you're doing a good job. And then the older one, what about me? Guess what the older one starts to do? She starts to eat her vegetables because of the praise. And that's wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. That is wrong to do that, because in doing so, it starts this competitive mindset. Not to say that all competition is wrong. Competition is good and it helps us strive together to be better. But to do so in a manner, it causes the other one to feel like, well, you don't love me then. I'm not eating my vegetables. You don't love me then. You're congratulating her, but you're not congratulating me. So if I don't eat my vegetables, you don't love me? And the reason I say that is because my daughter said those very words to me. So you don't like me anymore. It's like, no, I love you. I love you a lot. Just because I started comparing. Well, you don't like me anymore. It's like, no, daughter, I love you. I just need you to eat your vegetables. That's it. That's what I want you to do. I want you to eat your vegetables. But when I congratulate the other one and don't congratulate her, she'll feel that I don't love her. And I see that in my child, but as I sit back and think, I was the same way with my brothers and how I felt my dad loved me. Oh, so you don't love me. You're not embracing me. You're not lifting me up. And that's how I felt. And I'm sure he did not mean it that way. I know my dad loved us. I know my dad loved us. I'm just saying that to say that he did it in a way that he knew. And I do not fault him for that. I do not fault him for that. And some of it works because I find myself doing the same things that my father did. And I don't mind it. I don't like to see my children hurt. I don't like to see my daughter struggle with her words, still talking some of that baby talk, even though I feel like, man, you should be way ahead of the curve. But at the same time, that's just how it is right now. And part of parenting, part of growth is understanding that where my daughter is where she is. And I got to learn to be uncomfortable in that as a parent. And it's so heavy, man. Like, it's real heavy. And it's good. And it's good because all of this, I believe God is working. God is working in us. God is working in me as a father and as a parent. And it's good. It's good. So I wanted to share that. And in the news today, man, you have the 5 officers beating this gentleman to death. And that don't sit right with me. And it's not so much the video that doesn't sit right with me. It's more so the media and certain people in their commentary and their lack of words for this situation that don't sit right with me. Because when I say the law was swift, man, I started drinking water, and by the time I was done drinking said water, these 5 officers were already convicted in jail for this crime. Like, there wasn't no administrative leave. There wasn't no, he'll be put on probation. There wasn't none of that. It was swift, like quick. Boom, hey, y'all going to jail. What y'all just did was murder, and it was wrong. Swift. And that bothers me. Like, that should have happened. I'm just like, yo, why can't the law be that consistent in every case? Why can't it be that consistent in every case? What they did was wrong and they should be in jail. But for all the other cases like that, it's like the cops put on administrative leave. They still get their pay. All of this still continues to happen while a person is dead. But for this special situation, it is, you know what? They need to go in jail, but all the other ones, it was different. It was different. And that don't sit right with me. It's like, all right, if we're going to talk about justice, let's talk about justice. If we're going to talk about what needs to be done and how swiftly it happens, let's talk about that, because right now it's like it's a little biased to me. To me. How do you feel about the situation that happened? Comment down below. How do you feel about the situation that happened? Yes, I hope you can say it was wrong. It shouldn't have happened. I hope you can say, yes, throw them in jail as swiftly as you did. Good job. Good job. But I also hope you could say, why didn't we do the other guys like that? Why didn't that happen to the other officers? Why didn't we do them like that? I hope you can at least ask that question. I hope you can do that. There was no investigation. It was no, you did this, you going to jail. Like, there was no smear campaign on the victim. Oh, he had these charges, he had that charges, he had that wasn't blown up. Where's the back the blue at? That's what I'm looking for. Y'all backed all the blue. Now's the time to back a blue. And I don't see, I, Rugged Wanique, have yet to see one back the blue post. And I got a problem with that. When the video was posted, I didn't know how to react. I didn't even watch it all the way through. I couldn't. I could not. Because at the end of the day, that shouldn't have happened. And emotionally, I couldn't handle that. Sometimes we got to guard ourselves. We have to guard what we allow inside of our optic nerves, inside of our spectacles, inside of the gateways to our souls. We have to guide that. I didn't want that type of energy in my house. I didn't. I couldn't watch it. It's crazy like that. I could not watch it. You got to take care of yourself, y'all. And comment down below. Let me know. What's your thoughts on this? What's your thought? Do you think they handled the law swiftly? Do you think they should have investigated more? And if you're a Back the Blue listener, explain to me or to other people in the comments why the silence, or if there hasn't been any silence, bring it to our attention, man. Bring it to our attention. We want to know. We do. We do want to know what is going on. You feel me? So those are the two things that were heavy on me. And I wanted to share and express. I wanted to share and express that. Just quick, if you haven't done so, this is a segue right here. If you haven't done so, gotten my book, Joel Finding the Blessing and the Lesson of Destruction, get it now, because we have a whole video series coming up, 17 weeks, where we walk through every single week, where we talk about it, and I lead it, and it will be in video format. I hope you can purchase it and use it for your ministry, for your tools, to grow in your personal walk, but also in a congregation form and also a Bible study form. I think it'll be great for you all, and it'll be good, man. If you would like to have me come to where you at, come to your spot, speak and encourage your adults, young adults, I'll even talk to the children. You feel me? If you'd like for me to come there too, man, head to juanitfayette.com. Links will be in the description below. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Rugged Haitian. Peace.